Welcome, Atlantic Sun fans, to another edition of Lunchbox, where we take our lunch hour and talk with your favorite Atlantic Sun athletes. Joining me today is All-American 10,000-meter Atlantic Sun record holder for fastest time and the Atlantic Sun Preseason Runner of the Year. It's Eastern Kentucky's Hakim Abouzouhir. Thank you for coming on Lunchbox, Hakim.
Thank you so much for having me today as well.
First, I want to congratulate you on winning the Atlantic Sun Preseason Runner of the Year. What does that honor mean to you?
Yeah, like it's very important things like for me in my career, and it's like it's good. It's mean a lot to me as like I did well last season, and I'm hoping like to do more like good result this season as well. So like winning this like title, it's making me like giving me like more energy, more good and positive energy to work hard to achieve like more good results in upcoming races and coming like challenges.
Yeah, absolutely. We hope to see you continue to grow this year and break even more records as you compete in this cross country season. I've always felt, and I mentioned this to the ASUN preseason women's runner of the year, Lee Miller, that running is like one of the most difficult sports to play.
Yeah.
How did you start running?
So it's like a long story how they start running, but I would just like give some important point. Like I start running like in my primary school. It's almost in 2009. It's like almost now 14 years ago when I was like in my primary school. So when we have like the break between like the classes, we go out and we play, and I was like the last one that get to the class. Then one of my professors say, I see you that he asked like the boys, and he told him he's running so fast we can catch him, and he's like a good runner. Then he come to me, he told me, how if you like take you to race like the school races, like the primary school races. And I think, okay, I can go for that. Then I went for that, and like the dream started there. And also like I was like a big fan of Morocco legend, this called Hisham El Garouj. So I was like always like watching him in TV, how he ran and that. So I like running, and they want like to become as him, like a good champion. So the story like start from there, like till now, and still keeping it.
That's cool. That's so cool. Yeah. So you really got started at a young age then.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Hakim, you're originally from Morocco, and you came to Eastern Kentucky to race. What has been some of the biggest challenges that you faced moving from Morocco to Eastern Kentucky?
So like moving from a different like climate and culture, it's like it was like very hard for me like to adapt with life here in Eastern Kentucky in my first month. And I remember that you can ask also Coach Corey and other coaches like in the team how it was like hard for me to get adapted with life and the food, especially like the food, because there is like a huge difference between like our food culture and the foods here and how the things go. Also like the weather was like affecting me so bad, and I get the asthma in my first like month. But we have a good stuff here in Eastern Kentucky that really like taking care of all those aspects. And do you know that it will not be like easy for you to adapt that quick. So they worked with me like month after month. And if you see like my result, like since the first day that I came in, like I was like progressing day after day, like month after month. And that's what gives me like a good ending of the season, and we will like keep it for this season as well.
That's awesome. Yeah. So what originally attracted you to come to Eastern Kentucky?
So what do you mean, please?
Like like when you were originally recruited to come here, what made you like, oh yeah, this is where I want to come?
Okay, like how, like because when I was like in Morocco, I was like already like keeping, because started my master's degree there, and I wasn't like thinking that I will come like to US one day. Like when I was like in my young, I like after my high school, I was like my dream was to become to the US and that. And after the COVID, it was like so hard to come to here. Then Coach Corey, he reached out to me after like many good races that I raced there. He reached to me and he told me, I want you in my team. And I am like a steepler, as you know, I am like a steeplechase runner. So he told me, he present his program well to me, and he said that we have like one of the good programs in the country, and we have like the national champion. Also, like as I asked like some other of my friends, Moroccan friends that are here in USA, they told me like the same. Then Coach Corey, he seems that he really want me. You know, when some coach he really like want you, it's not just like, oh, I'm recruiting you because I'm recruiting you, like I want to get like a good recruit, but he present his program well and he shows that he really want me, and that's what make me like choose this program. And I'm always like saying it. I couldn't like come to US if I didn't come like to Coach Corey's like program and EQ's program. But when I came here, it was like really good, and I will never blame myself for taking that reason, because I really like here. I really like the team. I really like Coach Corey and all the other stuff that he have, and the other coaches and everything. So it's really amazing. Like, and my story how like he get recruited. I think that we need like to make an interview about it, because we start like the process like in the end of the season. Like we start the process in the end of July. Then after 15 days they came to the US. Like, no one like can can imagine how fast we get everything done. The NCAA papers and the embassy's appointment. I was like so lucky to get an appointment so close, because Coach Corey wanted to get me like last year before the end of August, and he get me here in the 18th of August. And if I remember, we start like the process in the end of almost in the end of July. So it's less than 1 month to get here. It was like really amazing.
Yeah, that is amazing. That's so quick. I can't imagine just being thrown right into that. But we're fortunate that
Yeah,
you're part of Eastern Kentucky University and
yeah.
how you're breaking records. What are you most looking forward to this season?
So like I sometimes like if I will talk about my goals, it will seem like some people, some normal people, that they're crazy. But for me, my goal, like before coming to the US, my goal is one like to take my life to the high level. Like so, last year I did well, and this year I want like to become after, because I'm graduating like next spring, and I want like after my graduating I want to go pro. So this season I want to run as fast as I can and make the standard, the Olympic standard. Maybe like last year, I missed like the world championship, because my dream, like my goal last year, is being like with the top guys in the NCAA, in nationals, like winning the nationals will be all American. And they achieved like my small goal, like to be all American, and I was happy about that. But my other goal was like to be like representing my country in the world championships and in the high level. So I didn't like make it to the world championship. That was like little challenging and that. But for this year, like my goals now is to do well, like in on my competition, like day after day, like starting with the conference, because the important races for me now it's like the conference, regional, national, in cross country. Then again in indoors, in the outdoors. So I want like to do well in cross country. Why not like be all American in cross country, and as well in, I don't know if we can like make it in indoor, because Coach Corey, he didn't like have like this in my program. So we're like focusing more in cross country and outdoor, and I respect him and I really like that, because that will make me like go to my other goal, because I have some goal, as I told you, like that's related to the NCAA, and the other goals that really related to my career. So I want like to make it to the Olympics. I want to be with top guys here in NCAA, then like finish like my year with the Olympics. So I think this is like a general like vision for my goals, but there's some other specific things that I think that we should like keep it like for for the future.
Definitely, definitely. We hope we make it and reach those goals. It'd be awesome to see you in the Olympics.
Yeah.
So a little bit, this is a little bit of a less serious question here, but we always ask on Lunchbox a food-oriented question. And I wanted to ask you, what is your go-to dinner before a big race?
So before the big races, like I always like so Coach Corey always like take us like to some good restaurant, but like for me, my prefer like meal is like eating like something with pasta, like chicken, like I could say like chicken with pasta with Alfredo sauce. So this is like the basic that I take always like before the races. Like one night before the race, this is my plate. This is my favorite things that I can eat, and I really like it's chicken, pasta, Alfredo sauce, or sometimes I'm going like with marina sauce. That's so good. We go like to Italian places like restaurants or something like that always. But this is like my favorite meal.
Cool, that's awesome. Yeah, it's good amount of carbs to get in before a big.
Yeah. some proteins with carbs. That's all what it takes, like one night before the race.
Totally, totally. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So Eastern Kentucky was was ranked first in the coaches poll this year. With that expectation, do you feel like there's more pressure to perform this year, or what do you guys kind of do to not succumb to that pressure?
I think that it's not like coming just like for something like normal or something, but because we have like a strong team. Even like if we missed the nationals last year because just of some small details and some guys that went like injured and we didn't make it to the nationals. But I think that we still like we this year we are like one of the good teams like in the conference and even in our region. And it's not like just putting like it's not putting like pressure on us because we know what we deserve. We want like to be with the top schools in the country, like in cross country. We want like to make this the history of Eastern Kentucky like this year, this season. We are like working hard. We are like doing a lot of mileage. We are like doing some of hardest workouts and everything. We are trying like to make everything perfect because we want like to achieve like a good result in our like winning our conference and maybe our regionals. If we didn't win our regionals, we want like to be with top two or top three. And our regionals didn't make it to the nationals, then the big battle will start because like for me, I believe that there is some runners that like there are runners of championships, and I think like the team that we are like that we collected now and we have now in Eastern Kentucky is able like to do more good results in good championships. And I think how the coaches like nominated us as the first like school and the best like the preseason school like in the for the this cross country. I think it's a good choice, and we will like show that we really like deserve it, and we are like always like working hard for it.
Thank you very much for coming on the Lunchbox. Really appreciate it, Kim.
Thank you so much for having me as well, and I will thank like also like the conference for all what you are doing in ISA and all the staff that work in there as well. I would like to thank all the staff that work in here in Eastern Kentucky, like the media staff and the like the medical staff, the coaches and everything, because it's really amazing and the hard work that they are doing like to keep us like in good like shape and in good like position like to compete well and to do well and to make succeed in our careers as well, like our academics like advisors and our academic staff that's really like doing a good and great job. Thanks for all of them, and thank you for having me today, Patrick.
Of course, of course. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Have a good day.